What's the problem with idols like movie stars and rock stars in the life of a Christian? The problem with idols who wear sunglasses and nice clothing.
I can be your idol.
The glasses really have given him confidence.
Oh, look at him.
It's
He's styling it up.
I don't know. I just feel so much better with these things on.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's because they're hiding you.
Hiding his eyes. No one can see into his soul. That's
I still look good with that.
He takes them off. Okay. First of all, is there a problem with idolizing other people?
I think it depends on how you take
Let's
it.
first, who have been your idols?
Shawn McCraney.
Oh, God, that's a problem.
Who have been my idols?
Yeah, rock stars, movie stars.
I don't know.
You haven't had any?
Not really. I
Have you?
mean, I like bands, but
You like bands?
I mean,
I play music, so there's bands that I've wanted to do stuff like, but they're not really idols. Like how some people, how 13-year-old girls idolize Justin Bieber or did idolize Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
It's not like that. So I don't have personal experience with that that I can think of.
No posters of Whitesnake on your wall as
T-shirts.
a kid?
But no.
T-shirts? Is that a form of idolization?
I don't know.
tough
I just
to
like
know.
them. I like the music.
I mean,
Okay.
I have people I look up to. Not
Sports
really
stars?
idols. Sports stars, Michael Jordan.
So you look up to Michael Jordan with how much adoration?
The best basketball player to ever touch a ball. I can't stand LeBron James just because people think he's better than Jordan.
Really?
Yes, because LeBron is not better than
Tell us what you really think.
Jordan. What do you mean what I really think? Really?
Okay, so you think MJ is the best that's ever been. How far does your adoration of MJ go? For instance,
You see how I debate politics? That's how I debate the Jordan versus LeBron debate.
what about just Jordan on his own? Do you
his own?
hold him as a hero? Do you look at him with...
I think I don't see people like that, but I do think he was a very talented player. The way he just played the ball, his work ethic is inspiring. So like after he played baseball for 2 years, he came in back in the '95 season, and they got eliminated out of the semifinals. Every day after that, the day after he got eliminated, he called his trainer, and they started working, and he worked so hard. He had the best record in the NBA. The 96 Bulls, 72-9,
He likes
or
Michael Jordan.
72-10.
I think so.
And it wasn't
Appears
beaten
so.
until the Golden State Warriors in 2016, and then they also won the championship.
So let's springboard off you right now. You know a lot, so you've taken a lot of time, and you've devoted a lot of time to Michael Jordan, the man, and what he's done. Is that wrong for a Christian to do?
No.
No. Do you hold him in higher esteem of other men? Would you treat him preferably if he came to your school, to the way you treat your friends?
I challenge him to a 1v1, see how it goes.
So he thinks he's better than LeBron is what he's saying.
No, I
really
would
what-
definitely treat him differently.
You would.
Yeah,
You'd be a
I wouldn't
respecter
lie.
of persons.
Yeah, and I guess if I were to also put it on another person, if I were to meet a political figure, Ben Carson, who I have met before,
Okay.
I was geeking out. I was in 5th grade, and I just got into politics. I was geeking out the whole time. I'm sweating. I was like, Ben Carson. I paid attention to everything. When I shook his hand, I'm like, man, his hands are soft. Soft hands. He's like,
You ever seen the King of the Hill episode where Hank Hill shakes George Bush's hand and he gives a limp handshake?
no, man.
He can't stand it. That's all I
The
can
way
think of.
these conversations ebb and flow.
They just shift.
You're talking about a man meeting Ben Carson, shaking his hand, and it goes to King of the Hill.
It's a great episode.
I mean,
Limp handshake.
I mean, and here's
It's
what
so funny.
he said. He had that sleeping look. He said, "How are you doing, young man?" I said, "Oh, I'm doing great, thank you." And then I walked off because the security people were kicking us out so quickly because there was thousands of people there getting their books signed. I'll never forget that moment because Ben Carson, I still look up to. We'll forget his time under the Trump administration, but I still look up to for what he did and a lot of the ideas he has. And he was the man that got me into politics.
so is there any problem with looking up to, as you've put it? No.
I don't think so.
I think you just need to remember a healthy way to see people. Everyone's just a person. They just have different skills and different abilities. So I think there's nothing wrong with meeting someone that you like their particular skill. Let's say I met a hockey player or something. They're still a regular person, but they just happen to be at a high level in a certain thing. So I don't think giving recognition to their skill is anything bad, but it's just, or intellect or whatever it might be. But holding them at a higher thing, I don't know about that much.
I think we all do that to some extent.
We do, but I wish we didn't. I think we need to remember.
But I think that's human nature.
Sure.
And there's that worship aspect too.
Yes.
We base it because without God, me and my mom were talking about why do people like communism all of a sudden? Because communism is the government is your God essentially. And it's a very atheistic thing, because think about the people in China. That's the largest atheistic country in the world. Or think about Russia. Joseph Stalin, communist, atheist. There's a connection to be had. And it's not 100% of a rule, but man needs worship, needs to worship something. If it's not God, something else always fills its place.
Right.
Could be a pastor.
Could be a pastor. Could be a
reverend,
system of doctrine.
Yeah.
It could be anything. But my question then is, you say it's okay, but where do we draw the line on idol worship? Because God is very much against idol worship. That means looking to something and person and believing that it has something to give you that God does not. And so do you believe that Michael Jordan and Ben Carson have something to give you that God cannot?
I think God uses certain people to inspire others to do His work.
So you're seeing God working through them, and you hold it up in that relationship.
Well, I think they've both had influence on my life. I'm not good at basketball, but I really enjoy playing it. I enjoy playing it with my friends and stuff, and I just enjoy the sport. And Michael Jordan is the best of all time at that sport, so I enjoy Michael Jordan because of that.
If you take that too far, you get into I don't need to go to school or education, read books, because God will give me everything. But everyone through history has gained this knowledge through. So I don't think there's anything wrong with appreciating people's experiences, talents, whatever it may be that makes someone special or good at, unique, we'll say. Because everyone's got their own specific things, or several things, whatever. And it's nice to appreciate that, and nice to get their knowledge from their perspective, like the type of way to learn things.
So the trouble comes with the question, what is the problem with idols like movie and rock stars?
The problem is when you put them at such a high level that
we're taping, Robert. You got to watch out because you're right in the middle of the camera. Thanks for making yourself at home, brother. It's just here. People, they just make themselves
freedom in Christ around here.
Freedom in Christ, and freedom in everything else too. Go ahead.
I think the question is more addressing like little girls who idolize Justin Bieber, for example, and they're screaming and shouting and fainting. Like how people used to do with the Beatles and all the famous, ultra famous people throughout history. And I think that's a problem. That's more like idol worship.
So you're at a Metallica concert. Is it this?
I don't know.
Is it this? And they're doing this. Do you think that is a form of worship?
Ain't nothing but the devil.
Ain't nothing but the devil, says.
Well, you've got the 6, and then the 6, and then
you got the 666 all wrapped up in that beast.
No, I don't think so. That's like that's essentially a form of dancing to the people that are at the concert. Headbanging. That's appreciating the music and going with the whole fun experience of it. But I wouldn't call it worship unless. Well, it could be. I guess depending on the person.
It's
a subjective
drawing your
thing.
power from, maybe.
Yeah.
It's where your heart's at with it.
Where your heart's at with it, right.
And I think God notices that.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think it's in our place to really say anything about how someone takes it. You can ask for your opinion on it, but
So can we say healthy balance is a good way to approach the subject?
Of course.
Yes, it's like most things, you know, healthy balance. But there somewhere along the line it switches to idol worship.
Yeah.
But I don't think that line is very clear because there's plenty of times where I'll be at a concert or just thanking God for the fact that He made such awesome music happen, in my life.
Absolutely.
So it's just the mindset. And,
what do we think about the talents of people like Michael Jordan and our Hollywood stars and our musicians? What do we think of their talents?
I'd say thank Jesus.
As Christians.
Thank God that He gave somebody the talent to do that and give us
like
entertainment.
They entertain us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
I think God gives everyone talents. Just not everyone has the work ethic to use those talents. So I know plenty of people that have much higher intellect in politics than I do. But not everyone takes in the time to start a podcast or try and write a book or go and meet the people that you look up to or can help bring you up and teach you how to do these things. So it's all about work ethic, because I know a lot of people that are much better at me at religious stuff, that know much more than me about politics and all sorts of things, but they don't have that work ethic. And they aren't willing to put in the work, or no one has given them the opportunity to do so.
So does that make your application of a work ethic to the things that you want to do, does it make you superior to those who are lazy?
No, because I don't really have a big work ethic. I just like talking, and starting a podcast is
you're doing what comes
really
natural.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we covered what's the problem with idols like movie and rock stars here in the Christian Anarchy Today show. And I think, again, healthy balance. Nothing wrong. I've always found it interesting when hyper-religious people will condemn all of the entertainment industry as being of the devil. And, we have a lot of movies that have inspired us. We have music that is beautiful. We have music that is a gift from God, and it's very subjective.
And then we have Cardi B's music.
If the congregation didn't idolize the have the movie stars to entertain them, they might start idolizing the pastor, and I think that's what he's really upset about.
There you go.
And
I love that.
It happens too, because at my old church, it was always the bishop. Oh, Bishop's coming on to town. Why are we so excited about Bishop? Bishop lives 20 minutes north of us and pastors another church. If you want to go see Bishop, go visit Bishop. And it's just like whatever the bishop says goes. Are you not idolizing him by believing he's a prophet? Even though I could state plenty of things that man has said wrong. One thing that he gets wrong, he's not a prophet. But I just think we just worship. Everyone has their own idol. Everyone does, one way or another. And we just give it to someone else. If it's not Justin Bieber, as your example, it's the bishop, it's the elders, or who else.
I'd much rather have somebody love Justin Bieber than idolize their pastor.
Same here.
Church. God's involved in all that.
Yeah, it's just so much worse.
Yeah.
And a lot of these churches structure themselves that way, where they have their pastor and everyone's all excited to see him. Did you see him? He was over there.
Yeah.
I just saw him. He touched me.
Yeah. You told a story. You were with a friend, and one of the Mormon apostles walked in, and everyone just went dead silent.
I was in the LDS cafeteria, and I stood up to go ask him. I said, no, you can't approach him unless he approaches you. You don't speak to him unless he speaks to you. Shut up.
They're
like, men.
Exactly. That's the problem. It's like men. Whenever I see Russell M. Nelson, like around Thanksgiving, everyone was posting the video. Oh, I love. I'm sorry, Seth. I keep hitting this. Oh, I love the prophet and what he's saying. I'm like, he says something I could say. Like, he says something we all know. What are you talking about? It's good advice, but what are you flipping out about?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't get it. But they were raised to think that. Just like I was raised to think. Oh, the elder with it. They had some really nice chairs up there. I'm like, why don't I get that chair, man? I need to be like one of these people. I looked up to them. Because they were shown as men of God, when in all actuality, they were no different than I am, and no different than my struggles.
And the command, at least in the first commandment of the 10, is to have no other gods before him, right? So it's when you start to look at somebody as they are God's representative on earth where the real criminality comes in.
Yep.
You can have some idols maybe in your heart where you kind of are really appreciative of their basketball or dancing or music, but you're not looking to them as God.
Yeah, it's just really important to get the perspective. And I think the healthiest thing somebody can do is meeting some of the people that they look up to.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do.
With you when you met me.
But, yeah. Yeah, well, that's true, kind of, because I was watching the show from afar for years. Yeah. And then I was all confused. I just driven overnight, for 8 hours, and then sitting over there, and I was like, oh.
And everything fell off. You're like, he's just an idiot. And that's good. That's good, right?
No, I remember my first time. I was so scared. I was talking to my friends, and my friend Hannah, who came to the show, she watched some of the original Heart of the Matter phone calls. She said, "Ethan, don't mess up now. He's gonna get you." I'm like, I know, Hannah. I better be ready. I came in here, and we were standing back there for like a good old minute while you were talking to Wendy and Seth. I'm like, oh Lord, I need to build up the courage to come in here, man.
That's not true. Any final thoughts on the topic?
No, sir. No.
Everyone's people.
Everyone's people. Stephen, for next week's show, Stephen is drawing from the
Jar of Doom.
Jar of Doom.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. What powers are in the world/universe?
Okay.
That is such a wide topic.
I like it.
Oh, it's is a wide topic.
I need to get another
This
bottle
is
of water
closer
for
to
that.
my alley right here. That's what I like.
Powers.
I'm all about
All right,
power.
so next time here on Cat.
I'll sell my glasses for $100 to you if you want.
Ready, out.